Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday, and that means I'm here with Kimberly. And guess what? If you're hearing this, if you're within the sound of my voice, that means I am in France. But today I'm here in your ear holes because we're doing a lot of pre-recording. So I didn't want to leave the people hanging.
No, you actually paid to bring me with you to France so that we could
Oh,
record there.
right.
I'm going to stay a bit later because I felt like it was silly to come just for a recording.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, there's a lot going on the podcast, but as you would have heard yesterday, we did have Love After Lockup with Keisha. Today is 90 Day. And of course, Thursday is going to be the big, huge Olivia Plath interview. Now, some people got to hear it a little early because Apple screwed up.
No.
And Ingrid is doing everything from her end, like scheduling things, right? So she was scheduling like the ad free and she schedules things. And I guess when you do those Apple subscription ones, they are tricky because they'll just like put it out whenever they want. I don't really understand how that works, but something she was doing is she was doing something at midnight. And because she was doing it right at 12 o'clock, it went ahead and took it as we can put this out. And it was actually not supposed to go out.
Oh, no.
So some people got it. So if you did, just tick a lock, keep it zipped. Don't say what you heard.
Oh, my God.
Because I've been like teasing it for like 2 weeks. And now it's like, people are like, oh, I heard it. I was like, oh, shit. So that's not great. Anyway, that is going to, assuming for the rest of the world who didn't get to hear it early, big episode. And that will also be a free YouTube video. There'll be a link there that you can look at that. Normally, we just do video over on Pink Shade Prime, but because this one was such a big deal, I wanted everybody to see it.
Plus, she's so pretty.
Plus, she's just so nice to look at.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous hair. Gorgeous teeth. So the next 2 weeks. That good toothpaste, that Young Living. She told me what it was. That's the MLM.
My mouth is open.
Yeah, don't.
I need to hear more about that.
Don't buy that. So the next 2 weeks, there's not going to be a new episode of 90 Day because there's no episode airing on the 24th or the 31st. They're doing special Pillow Talk episodes that are like recaps of funny Christmas things. Gotcha. Or a build up to the single life or whatever. So there's no new 90 Day episode for the next 2 weeks. So you and I will not miss doing a recap. Next week on the podcast, there's going to be my new Then and Now series. That's the week of December 25th. You'll have Ryan Bailey, Kate Casey, and Jake and Matt from Reality Gaze. What is going to happen is you'll listen to the episode. You'll hear us talking about the Payne in the Pod episode that was from 2018, 2019, whatever. And then if you didn't go to Payne in the Pod to listen to it, it will also just be tacked on to the end of that episode.
Oh, that's
it's funny. Clever. When you talk to people, it's like, and I'm going to do this with you guys as well. It's like things have changed, but a lot of things have really stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Kimberly and I will be back together to talk about the next new episode of 90 Day, which will be on January 9th. We'll be recapping the episode that will come out on Sunday, January 7th. So we'll see the 7th episode, and then you and I will have our episode here on the 9th. So
I just do what I'm told. I just show up.
Just show up.
And I say things.
Mm-hmm. Generally very funny. Over on Pink Shade Prime, that's Supergas and Patreon, I'm going to be recapping the 90 Day The Other Way Tell-All Part 3 with Amy. It's pre-recorded, ready to go. There'll be no Prime episode on Friday, December 29th, but we are planning, it's scheduled to put out a December 31st episode, just recapping my European vacation. To when I say that, I have to say, look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament.
Yes, you do.
Whenever I say European vacation, I gotta go, look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. Because you guys, if you didn't see,
stuck in the loop.
They were stuck in the traffic circle.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get out of it. Yeah. So that's just a real old joke that will come in handy once we get to London.
Are you going? You need to dress up in fancy clothes too and parade around on the street and do like photo shoots. I know that's when they're in Italy.
I don't. Yeah, there will be nicer clothes than what they're used to wearing on a daily basis for sure.
Yeah.
Because I've said that no sweatpants in public and no pajama bottoms in public, and also you can't just wear your slippers as shoes.
I can't believe you have to say that, but I get you do.
That's what the teenagers do these days.
You do, yeah.
Yes. So, January 5th, guys, over on Pink Shade Prime, which we call like Hey Bunky, it's Supercast's Patreon. That's the one that comes out every Friday. I've been doing it with Amy Archer for a year, and then many times she subbed in the past. Amy Archer is retiring from Pink Shade for now. She has a 40-hour-a-week job, guys, and then she has her own podcast. So
Mm,
she is trying to
which is
take
great. Little Miss recap.
Little Miss Recap is wonderful, and she's trying to do some self-care and like
Good
maybe
for
not
her.
overwhelm herself like I've done to myself in this last week.
Hmm.
So there's going to be a new co-host over there. It's Meredith Constant. You guys know her. She had a podcast for a little bit with her brother called Constant Reality Check. But Meredith is really known for her TikTok. She has a Royals TikTok that is like a BFD, like 80,000 followers, something crazy. And
Amazing.
she just, so there was a book about the Royals that just came out called Endgame. I
Yeah.
don't know anything about it. All I know is I think it had to do with like the wiretapping and the Piers Morgan of it all and the Daily Mail and all
Yeah.
that. Maybe not the Daily Mail. Maybe it's another paper, Daily Telegraph. I don't fucking know. Anyway, she just had an
Something
interview
that
that
comes out daily.
something that is important if you're British. And she just had an interview come out with the author of that book. That was like a huge thing happened in the last couple of days with Piers Morgan goes in front of his house and says again he didn't know anything about this wiretapping, and this guy's like, yes, he did. So no one had been able to interview the author yet, but Meredith kind of already had it set up, so she kind of got like an exclusive just for the timing of it. So that was exciting. So if you guys are into the Royals, I'm really not. So actually, it's going to be kind of good because she and I will have like something to talk about that like I'm not super interested in. So she could tell me about it. I could learn
Hmm.
something, just like the Learning Channel. So that will be on January 5th. So you'll hear Amy this weekend, and then you'll hear Amy one more time at the end of December. And then on January 5th, we'll start with Meredith, and that will be covering Smothered and the Single Life. We also have a show coming up called like Prison Wives that's going to be on Lifetime, and I think I'm going to have to cover it. I think I'm going to have to cover
Is it
it.
about what I think it's about? Is it about guys on the No, wait, is it about girls on the inside who have
Opposite.
it's about men on the inside
Yeah.
who have another guy that they have as their wife.
No, it is the literal word wife, which means it is a wife, a woman on the outside.
But then the prison wife makes it seem like it would be the woman would
In
be on the
prison.
inside.
Right. No, these are women that have married men in prison. And a lot of them are coming over from other countries. Like, I live in London. I met my boyfriend and we're married on paper, and I'm coming over to see him for the first time.
Wow.
It's like a 90-day Love After Lockup mashup.
Yeah, yeah, and Dateline, because at the end of every
Sure.
Dateline, I tried to do this segment called "Will He Get Love Letters in Prison?" And
Oh,
Katie got really mad at me because she goes, "Every guy is getting love letters in prison.
true.
Women are crazy.
True.
Every guy. Alex Murdaugh is getting love letters in prison." And she started yelling at me. She's like, "We can't do this segment because it's yes every time."
Chris Watts, who murdered his wife and 2 children, is totally got a girlfriend. Yeah.
To me, so then I tried to make it like on a scale of 1 to 10, how gross is it that he gets love letters in prison? But that didn't
Well,
really work either because they're all murderers, so
because
it's
it's all
always a
going to be
10.
10. It's
Yeah,
all going to be 10. Yeah.
yeah. I'm still trying to figure out a way to make the segment work.
I think you keep workshopping that.
Yeah.
Keep workshopping that. And so also Amy is not like out forever. She'll be coming back to chat with little things here and there. She just couldn't commit to it on a weekly basis anymore, and I get it. So love Amy, and everybody check out Little Miss Recap. So that's it for our programming notes. That took 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys were able to see, it's gone now, but if you were able to see the moment that I did with my throuple with Kimberly and Katie, we had so much fun. And can you
Katie
see?
just told me yesterday she has not laughed that hard in a long time.
You see my sassy squatch back here?
Yes.
That's where she lives. That was a gift that I got from Kimberly and Katie.
I love it so much.
And then I sent Katie, I was like, you really don't understand. I sent her screenshots of my favorite game, which the listeners that they've been with me for a while know. My favorite game on Apple Arcade is Sneaky Sasquatch.
I love it. I love that.
I've been obsessed with it. Like Erin, my former co-host, had a daughter that was like 10 or 11 at the time. She's like, that's her favorite game. I was like, correct. It is for 10-year-olds. It is, in fact, she has likely figured it out way before I could, you know?
Is it on Droid?
No, it's Apple Arcade, girl.
I can't. They didn't even make a parody version for us losers on Droid.
No, but I probably, if it's Apple Arcade, you could get it on your Apple TV or on your Mac.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Because I see people in the Reddit, because I do follow a Reddit thread about it, because I am a complete loser.
I love it. I
People
love
do
it.
talk about playing
I'm
it
not
like
telling you which Reddit threads I follow. It is not a pretty sight.
I referred you on a Reddit thread the other day.
You did?
Yes, because it popped up. I was looking at something else, and it popped up and said, "Has anybody done any episodes talking about this frogging?
Yes.
Is there a podcast that talks about frogging?" And I was like, "Have you checked out A Date with Dateline?"
Thank
Yeah,
you for the
yeah.
pitch.
I was up in there in the comments suggesting you, and I don't know if it was my real name or my fake name, but either way, it got through to the people
I love it.
because I'm just on Reddit as Mary Payne too. Like I'm
You
not even like
are. Yeah, see, I have ours, and then I have my private sneaky one.
I have a sneaky one too. Nobody will ever know.
Nope.
Okay. That's how you have to do it, guys. All right, let's talk about this show. 90 Day Fiance, season 10, episode 11, for richer or for poorer. And I will say before we get started, my voice is going out. I've had 2 cough drops. I've got a huge thing of cold water here, but this is podcast number 13 of 13 that I've done in 7 days.
Mm-mm.
So the voice is rough. It's rough, but at least I haven't.
Raspy and sexy.
I wish it was Demi Moore-ish, but it's not.
You can't get sick. You have to.
I'm not sick.
Okay.
I'm not sick. Sickness is not coming to this house.
No.
It's a manifestation.
No.
So, season 10, episode 11. For richer or for poorer. All right, we're going to start with Anali and Clayton, or as I said to you on our text chain, Anali and that guy she hates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I changed it to the furry she hates. I'm still convinced he's a furry.
You're not wrong.
If anyone is in that community and you know, if you have inside info, please let us know. Do they ever take their heads off, or is it all anonymous?
Well, that's is the point of the furry that you do it through a hole in the costume?
I would think, but maybe
Seems like that'd be real bulky and not easy to move around.
No, I agree. Yeah. I'm now picturing
know.
it. Yeah, how does that work? Okay, so I'm looking forward to your Facebook group with a lot of info. They are going to see Cameron with a K in California with a C. And Annalie just is happy to not be breathing the same air as mom, 2 dogs, 2 guinea pigs, and a horde. She's like, do they have fresh air in California? And your mom's not there.
I know. She's so happy to get away from Closet Mom.
Yeah. Okay, Closet Mom, like, it's always like everyone's breathing through their mouth, I would feel like. And then there's animals and like there's dander everywhere. It's just like, I feel like it smells in that apartment.
I think that's dead on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's never going to want to leave San Diego. This is like Jasmine in Miami. You should not bring these ladies to a pretty place.
I love San Diego.
So they have a nice jokey conversation in the car on the airport on what she's going to call Cameron, and it's going fine. And then Clayton says she's like, "Oh, it sounds like how you say shrimp in Spanish." And he says he'll probably think you're talking about his sausage. And then she's like,
"This is
why
what
do you
happens."
Make it weird, Clayton.
Yeah, don't be weird, Clayton. And also, can she just have sex with him so he stops making jokes like this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, in every scene that since she's arrived, there's been like a bar on the screen of like you're playing Super Mario, like how much energy you have left, but it's like how attracted she is to him. And every scene, the bar goes down 1, and it's like flashing red right now.
Yeah.
He's about to die before he gets to meet Bowser in the castle. And this is his danger zone, and he's not winning himself any points. In fact,
I don't know how in Mario you get more power. How do you get more power? In Sneaky Sasquatch, you have to go to bed to get more power or eat.
You need a nap, Sasquatch. That's how you get more.
A nap or food. That's the only way. Or you can have energy drinks.
Oh,
yeah.
Like Monster Energy.
They're energy drinks, and you can go for like 2 more hours. Yeah. Because sometimes you have a mission you have to do at night. So you have to have an energy drink.
I need to watch this game.
It's so great.
So he so I did want to remind people who Cameron is, because I didn't really say that. He is, in case people have not been following along closely, Cameron is his best friend of 13 years that he's never met in person, even though they live in the same country.
Yep.
It's going to be really awkward.
Yeah.
So And even though we have already seen Cameron on video chat, I honestly was surprised that he was real and Clayton wasn't being catfished.
I can't believe he came to the airport.
I can't believe he showed up. I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be a David and Lana situation.
He was gonna just go around wistfully all around San Diego looking for Cameron. Yeah.
Cameron, Cameron, are you there, buddy? Just calling out his name.
Mm.
But he shows up at the airport and he says, "I'm Clayton's best friend." And I thought, well, that was my biggest question. We know that Clayton considers him a best friend, but does he consider Clayton an acquaintance?
No,
But no,
they are best friends.
it's mutual. I was
Mhm.
shocked. And he seems a little like awkward in his black socks and like they keep closing up. Was he wearing socks and sandals? They keep doing kind of a close up.
It did look from the ankle bone down, it was all one color, so I
It
was like,
did.
"Is he wearing, like, shower shoe" not like no, but like, shoes that you have to wear in the ocean, what are those called? Like,
Water shoes.
water yeah, it's like almost like he's wearing water shoes or maybe those, like, jogging shoes that have the toes built in, because it all seemed to be one piece.
And it did seem to me like the editors were trying to tell us something.
Yeah,
They
they were like
kept kinda zooming in as to be like, "Look at this tells you who he is." And I was like, "I
yeah.
don't know what you're telling me.
That he's
Give
also a nerd, yes.
give me a hint." Yeah,
Yes.
I think he's also a nerd. And I was very nervous when they were gonna see each other I was more nervous than when some of these couples on this show are gonna see each other for the first time. This to me feels like higher stakes.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
feel like Clayton
because
will make it if he loses Cameron as a best friend.
I know because once Anali ditches him, what's he got? He's just got
Exactly.
Cameron. Yeah,
And his mom and the guinea pigs.
true.
So Annalie is like, "Clayton, are you excited as when we first met?" And Clayton says, "I feel the same." And then to prove this point that he is just as excited to see Cameron, he does a slow motion run in the airport in front of the baggage carousel, like in my former boss's rom-coms,
Mm.
and they
Mhm.
embrace. They do this big hug, and then they go, "Oh, we should probably shake hands because 'cause we've never met. Hey, bro." They're doing a lot of bros. "Nice to meet you,
Yeah.
bro," but
Yeah, what's up?
hugging.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
"Give me
dude.
some love." Like, and Annalie is like, "He didn't run to see me at the airport."
Mm-mm.
There was no running, and she's also just standing there, "Hi, I'm here too," until he finally remembers,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is Annalie."
Mhm.
And Clayton says, "You're kind of the third wheel. This is my bromance." Clayton, you're never getting laid.
Clayton, she's the one who encouraged you to go meet this guy in person.
It was all her idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why has the mom never encouraged him after
She
13
doesn't want him
years?
to leave.
So
Hello?
they're driving to the Airbnb and Clayton is in the front seat, Annalie is in the back seat. Clayton forgets that Annalie is in the back seat. She says something and he's like, "Whoa, I forgot you were there."
Oh my gosh, she's baby sister in the back. That's what we say on the podcast. If you put in the back, your baby sister, because I was always baby sister in the back. So yeah, she's baby sister in the back. Yeah.
So the Airbnb is nice and there are no guinea pigs. So it's very nice.
Oh,
There's a rope swing that he tries to look manly on and then he fails and hurts himself.
that's tracks. Yeah,
Yeah.
tracks. Yeah.
And then he tries to put her on the swing and joke around, and she is just not having it. And I think she's thinking, wow, this place is so nice. This is what I thought I was getting when I was coming to America. And
Yeah.
instead, I got guinea pig dander.
Yeah.
And also, I think she's thinking he's now going to finally want to really have sex with me because
Yeah.
we're alone in this place. And how do I
Yeah.
get out of it?
But they were alone at that hotel, and she was just like,
She didn't want to.
mm-mm.
So they go to this hip bar to meet Cameron and his girlfriend, and Clayton's nervous to socialize. Cameron's girlfriend is V, but it's VY.
Okay.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So Clayton asks Cameron, "I don't have a best man. You are my only friend.
Mm.
Default, will you be my best man?"
Yeah.
And Cameron is like, "I'm honored." And then they're interviewing him, and he goes, "I'm feeling feelings of joy. And I'm feeling feelings of happiness and contentment." I feel like they asked him, like, "What feelings are you having right now?"
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
he's doing the repeat back to them. "I am feeling feelings of joy."
Yeah. I mean, these 2 guys found each other for a reason.
They do.
You know? Yeah.
So they order, and this is the moment. where we saw it in the previews. So he says, "Can I have a virgin daiquiri or whatever because I don't drink alcohol, but also I'm effectively living as a virgin. So she want to have sex with me. I just thought I'd tell you." To the waitress, who laughs awkwardly, and then she leaves, and then the table is dead silent.
Did okay. Did he say this in Spanish and English? Because how would she have understood it?
I
He,
think
he
her English is pretty good.
or did he turn to her and go, "Did you hear that hilarious joke I just made?"
Oh God, you're
And
right.
repeat it. Yeah.
You're right. We didn't see that part, but he totally might have.
Mhm.
Or she's just getting really good at understanding his dumbass jokes in English.
Well, and it's just like Manuel and Ashley. Sometimes she's fluent in Spanish, and then sometimes she'll be like, "Well, listen, I told you, like, I've got to go," and he
Yes.
understands it. I was like, "Wait, what just happened?" Now she's
Yeah.
speaking English. Yeah.
So she's glaring at Cameron. I mean, sorry, at Clayton. And Cameron says, "I know that look she gave you, buddy. You're in trouble." And Clayton says, "What's she going to do? Not have sex with me?" So, like, if he didn't
I
dig
know. I
his
think what
own
he was,
grave,
"What's she gonna do? Not have sex with me?"
not have sex with me,
Uh-huh.
and, like, so he's already dug his own grave, and then he just put dirt on top of his own corpse, or whatever the metaphor would be. He's just made it so much worse, like,
Yeah.
by making a further joke.
I mean, has he asked her, "What's this about? Like, why have we had a sexual relationship, and now that you're here, you will not have sex with me? I understand my mom being there is weird, but I have now taken you to 2 other locations, so what's
Right.
going on?" Like, has
No,
he asked her, "How are you feeling? Are you upset? Have I done something?" Has he asked her
no, I think
what
he
the
has just
reason
made
is?
jokes.
Yeah, he's just
He
making
just made
jokes.
dumbass jokes. So she starts to cry, and Cameron says, he doesn't want to be involved, but he feels like he has to ask a prompting question. So he's like, is this like an ongoing issue? And Clayton says, yeah, we're having a dry spell or something. And then Cameron and the girlfriend, they're just shocked. And she asks Mary Payne's question, have you asked her why she's not ready? Like,
Mhm.
women need to feel comfortable. Can
Yeah.
you maybe approach that? And he says, "Well, my mom lives with us and she can hear everything." That's what Anali says. His
Mhm.
mom lives with us and she can hear everything. And Clayton says, "This has been disproven scientifically." Like he's at a science fair.
He's like, "I have had other babes over that I've been banging, and she could not hear it."
I
Yeah.
set up a recorder in a sound monitor,
Right.
an applause meter in one room, and there it barely registered a 2.5. So it's like he has a board at a science fair. Why
Yeah.
my girlfriend won't have sex with me? No, he
Mm.
says that's been proven scientifically, disproven scientifically, because we went away on vacation and she still wouldn't have sex with me.
Right.
And Cameron says to Annalie, he's very kind, and you can see obviously she's just crying. And he says, I can see this is making you very uncomfortable. And she says, yeah, this is supposed to be private. And she tells us, I don't understand this Clayton behavior. I've never seen him like this. He's acting all macho, and at
Yeah.
home he's like a kitten. And he's, and if this is macho,
Kitten. Yeah.
God forbid she sees like American football or something. I don't know what she thinks macho is, but
Yeah.
she thinks he's acting macho and his acid wash, and he's still acting like a total nerd. But he is
Mm.
kind of fronting and putting on like bravado.
Yeah, that if him making that joke, it'd be one thing if, like, because she said more than once, he said it right in front of me. I'm sitting right here. So
Mhm.
she's probably like, I expect him maybe to, like, bro out and talk like that stuff with his guys, but I'm sitting right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cameron says, as they're leaving, I'm walking away from this extremely concerned about their sex life at the very least. Uh, and also about their entire relationship and the wedding.
Yeah, because she was like, "I wanna go. I wanna go home.
Yeah,
Like, we have to get up."
we have to leave.
Yeah.
Um, so it's incredibly awkward. It really is.
When they walk off, all I could notice, it looked like he had a load in his pants. I was like, "His pants don't fit him very well. They're very."
Cameron's?
Yes. No, no,
No,
Clayton's.
Clayton.
Yeah. I'm sorry to use that phrase.
I
It's really
gotta go
gross.
look. I
But
hate
his
those pants that he wears so much. I need him to get a makeover and a haircut. His
it's the hair.
hair,
It's
his
like it is Ross from season 1.
It really is. And
Yeah.
Katie just said something to me yesterday because I was she said, like, that Caesar haircut, like
Yeah.
Pacey, who was my boyfriend, my pretend boyfriend, Pacey,
Yeah.
um, and so it doesn't really bother me, but with Clayton's face combined with the hair, it really bothers me. It is so unattractive.
It's the brushing it forward with the slicking.
Yeah,
I
and
just
also just with his nose and, like,
yeah.
his face, it is not a good combination.
No, he needs a male makeover
Yes,
with a new
absolutely.
hairstyle.
We need the Queer Eyes guys.
Yes, oh my god. Well, first they'd be like, "Get rid of all these guinea pig cages."
Uh-huh, and then they also give, like, emotional counseling too, so I feel like they could give him a
Yeah,
swift kick in the butt and be like,
yeah,
"You are being a total douchebag to Annalie, and you are gonna lose this hot chick."
yeah, yeah, and maybe have you asked her why she's not ready to have sex, like,
Yeah.
instead of just, like, making jokes at her
Instead of just
expense.
laying on the bed with your leg propped up like you're Burt Reynolds in a Playboy spread, but in your acid wash.
That's a real current reference. Alright, so we've got Citra and Sam, and every time so Citra's on my notes here, Citra, 26, Bogar, West Java, Indonesia, and Sam, 30, Cameron, Missouri. But every time I see Citra and then I just, the way my eyes glance at it, every time it looks like Citra Booger. It says
Booger,
Bogor, but it's Bogar, but I'm like, Booger.
booger.
So what I really need to do is just actually take that part out and just make it say West Java, Indonesia. That's much better on my eyes. Every time I looked at it, I was like, "Whoa, boogers." Okay.
Be clear, Citra does not have boogers. I
No,
mean,
she
she
doesn't.
might, but they're none visible to
No.
us.
So,
But I
they're
feel
in
like
the
Sam has boogers.
a lot of people were like, "I can't believe you didn't discuss the obvious situation with his mouth is that probably he doesn't have any lower teeth."
Yeah, but then we saw his dad, and his dad also has a
A tiny
very small
small
lower jaw area.
yeah,
His mandible is not the lower mandible is almost non-existent.
it's very, very tiny. That's she's like, "She had a little tiny face."
Yeah,
And all his top teeth are intact. So I don't know why you would just lose all your bottom teeth. Like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
that is interesting.
So I think he just has a tiny, tiny mouth.
I think it might
Um,
be when I saw the dad, that's when I thought, "Oh, this is a genetic facial issue."
yeah, and I think that if he grew a beard, although he doesn't seem that he would be able to, if
Doesn't,
he
no.
if he grew a beard, he wouldn't look so baby face with a tiny
Yeah,
face.
full beard that
Yeah,
would add some
volume.
heftiness to
Yeah.
the bottom part of his face.
So they're driving in the car from the airport, and she's like, "Wow, are those cows? Huh. Wow, is that a house over there?" It's like a house, like way off the road that was dilapidated.
It was I was scared too.
I mean, you see those when you're on the highway, right?
Yeah,
And
totally.
and she says, "It looks like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre." She's a, fan of American horror movies, and she says her imagination scares her when she sees houses like that because of the horror movies in America, which is pretty
I
funny.
love that.
So in her talking head, she goes, "Yeah, I'm worried about moving in with Sam, his dad, and his brother. I'm just not used to that, 3 guys in one house," because she's used to 3 girls in one house
Mhm.
and her dad. So, they walk in, she's like, "Oh, it's cold in
Wait,
here."
you're just skipping over the farting conversation.
Um Did they talk about farting?
She says, "I have to fart so bad, but it's not coming out." And he says, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she says, "Well, I've been on the plane for so long." And he
Yeah.
goes, "Yeah, when you're sitting for a long time." And she says, "I think it's like it gets closed up and it can't come out because you're sitting for so many hours."
See, I did hear that, but because I hate when people talk about any kind of
I know.
bathroom situation, I just went right past it.
I know. And then she says later about the living with the dads, she's like, "What about when I have my period?"
I know.
She's very comfortable talking about bodily function.
She is.
Yeah.
Good for her. So they walk in. She's like, "Oh, it's cold in here." And he's like, "Oh, you have air conditioning." He's like, "Yeah, that's the air conditioning." And she says, "First impression is this is so messy," and she wants to clean up. But like we saw him, he had brand new pillows, he had brand new everything for the bed, but I guess he just piled everything else on top of his dresser. Like, it's a
Yeah.
mess. It's a mess.
We did see him sweeping.
Yeah, but it's a mess. And she was like, "I don't know what's clean clothes, what's dirty clothes." Like, ugh, I just want to, ugh. So she goes into the kitchen and they meet dad, and his name is Brian. And dad says, "Yeah, she's pretty." And he's, glad to meet her. And
He
hopefully
says,
she'll help
"I'm
him.
very impressed with her."
Hopefully she'll help me cook.
I think
Just
he's
because
a
she's a
little horny,
girl doesn't
honestly,
mean
the dad. That
Stop.
hug was a little lingering.
That's wrong. That's
His
wrong of you to say.
fingers on her back were just like a little grasping.
That's wrong for you to say, Kimberly. So they show that Dad sleeps in the living room. Tim has a room, and then what's his nuts has a room. Sam has a room.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
So
is not a good
interesting.
situation.
No, no, and probably Dad was doing
Get the
just
dad
fine
in
in
the
that house, but
closet, at least.
Dad was doing just fine until probably Sam had to move back home
Yeah.
after all his issues.
Wait, and how old's the brother?
We don't know.
Okay.
Unclear. We do know that Sam is
And he's
30.
missing. He is not home for her arrival.
No, maybe he's got a job. We don't know.
Oh, that's true.
But his bed does have his sixth grade sheets and things on it. It's like baseballs and trains and stuff. Yeah.
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 Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, we met the brother unless there's another brother.
Okay.
Unwrap the first of many presents this season with holidays on the house from DraftKings Casino. With hundreds of games, prizes, and promos, DraftKings Casino has everything on your list. Right now, new players who play $5 get $100 instantly in casino credits. What are you waiting for? Cozy up with all the classes like slots, blackjack, and roulette, or play exclusive games you'll only find at DraftKings Casino to feel the holiday cheer all season long. Download the DraftKings Casino app now and sign up with promo code PINKSHADE and play $5 to get $100 in casino credits. That's promo code PINKSHADE only at DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. One per opted-in new customer. $5 wager required, max $100 in casino credit awarded, which require one-time playthrough within 7 days. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/holidays on the house. Restrictions apply. So, all right. So we see Brother Tim's room, and he's like, yeah, I'll sleep in here, with him before we get married. And he was like, no sinning. We can't do any sinning before marriage. I totally think they did it while she was in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Totally. So then he shows her the bathroom. He got a bidet, and he says, I got her this bidet because she doesn't use toilet paper. Like, she's Muslim and she needs it to feel pure. She's got to get in there and wash it up. So I was glad he did it, because sometimes people forget these things.
Compared to Rob and his outdoor outhouse, Sam is
Glorious.
really putting a lot of work in.
That's right. So Dad then is asking her, when will he need to convert? And she says, well, I have to find the mosque first. And then once my dad comes, Sam will convert. And they're like, do you even know how it works? Sam goes, yeah, I pray with the dad, and then 1,000 angels will enter me. See, I've done some research. See, it's not Yom Kippur. See, yeah,
Good
yeah.
for him.
And Dad says he'd like to go and see that. Would he be allowed to come? And she goes, yeah, you could come and watch the whole thing. And Sam said his dad is an atheist who believes in ancient alien theory. And Dad's like, yeah, if you look at some drawings in the Bible, they show flying saucers in those drawings in the Bible. And those theories are easier to believe than what you read in the Bible.
I mean, I don't disagree with him.
I don't disagree with him. I'd like to, don't come at me, TikTok algorithm. Make sure my phone's on airplane mode. Don't send that to me. I'd love to know more about it, because I think the ancient alien thing is pretty interesting.
You know who else believes in that is Mike from Squim. So the two of them could start some sort of 90-day alien convention.
I forgot about Mike from Squim being into that.
Yeah. I mean, I think aliens exist. The government has basically admitted it in not so many words.
Yes.
So I think everyone's been making fun of this dad, but now he's running around going, I told you so.
He's just like Mother God. He's waiting for his pickup.
Uh-huh.
So Citra says Sam's horny level is ready to explode. She says he needs to be patient until the wedding today when they can bang bang together.
Ding
Um,
dang.
because we're not led to believe that he went to Indonesia and spent 12 days with her and only kissed her on the cheek.
Well, was the dad with them the whole time, or the
Or,
sisters, were they chaperoning the whole time?
or did they go to like did they go to Bali and she doesn't live in Bali? Like
Right, right.
yeah, they had a vacation, you know? So she says, they're sitting and they're doing like a talking head together. And she says, we can't sleep together till marriage. So maybe he'll sneak in and like try to watch me while I sleep. He goes, wait, what? He goes, don't make me sound like a serial killer. Maybe I just want to come in for cuddles. And
I
he
thought that was
says,
funny.
it was funny too. And he goes, no, he goes, yes, she makes me look like the bad one. But the truth is, she's the naughty one. And she's like, stop. My dad's going to see this.
It does
Stop.
make it sound like they have done some stuff
Absolutely. They're
for
not
sure.
side hugging and kissing on the cheek.
Exactly. Side hugging.
They're doing that because the cameras are there and dad's going to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it may be a year from now, but dad'll see it.
Mhm.
So the next morning, she was like, yeah, we were in the same house. We're not even allowed to kiss, just like on the cheek. And he's like, he's at a very high level of horniness. So she goes, all right, we need.
Like the power bar that Anali is not attracted to
Yes.
Clayton, but his is
It's
high.
full.
It's
His
like
is full.
flashing red.
It's full. Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. So on Sneaky Sasquatch, it's like a pie piece. And so when you give them the food, it's like the pie piece when it fills up, and then it just blinks like you overfed.
Overfed.
And you also have a dog. You get a pet, and you have to feed your dog too. Yeah,
This game sounds amazing.
it's incredible. Right now, it's decorated for Christmas. So, all right. So she goes, listen, we need to clean up your car. My sisters will be mean girls about it. Like, it's gross. It looks like you've lived in your car for 10 years.
Wait, so the sisters are coming too?
I guess so.
I guess so.
We
You
Everyone's
know
coming.
that?
I did not know that. I thought just dad was coming.
I thought just dad.
She said
Okay.
her sisters will be mean girls about it.
Yeah.
She didn't get along with her sisters. She already said. She's like,
Yeah.
they don't give a shit if I'm leaving. Then he says, all right, I'll get dressed to go. And then but first I got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
Kimberly, have you ever heard a more disgusting phrase? I mean, what? That is
Yeah, I
disgusting.
prefer that to dropping the kids off at the pool.
That's disgusting as well.
I think that one's grosser.
How about I'm going to go to the bathroom, then I'll be ready.
Just say drop a deuce.
No, don't say that either.
With my work husband, we had a hand gesture that meant that we were going to number 2.
Well, I'd like to see what the hand gesture is, please. Can you show me here on the screen?
Like that.
This looks like a sort of like what you do when you're making the symbol of doing it, but like in reverse.
Yeah, but you put your thumb.
Yeah.
Your thumb goes up and then it pulls out. Yeah.
But why'd you need to tell them? Why not just, I'm going to be in the bathroom. I'll be back.
I don't know, because one of us had to watch the phones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And we would go over to the other bathroom that had more privacy.
Yeah. And our group of friends, we call going to the bathroom going to Whitney's because our friend Wendy, so when she lived near where the guys would gather around to play like intramural basketball or something. So sometimes that they would be over there playing and they'd be like, oh my God, we got to go to Whitney's. So if they had to use the bathroom, they would go to Whitney's to use the bathroom because she was close to where like the basketball court was or whatever they were playing. So literally go to Whitney's I was out with Whitney 2 nights ago and Mary and I went to pick her up. It was her birthday. Today's her birthday. Shout out Whitney. And we were taking her out for her birthday. And so Mary and I go to pick her up. We're sitting in the front and I was like, I can't believe she's like not coming out. She's the one that's like always early. And I was like, I don't know where she is. And she goes, maybe she had to go to Whitney's. At Whitney's.
That makes me think of the Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown video when they were on that reality show. And that was sad.
Don't remind me of these things.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Okay, now I'm nauseous. Okay. So they go to the car wash. I noticed that he's missing a hubcap and he has a big scrape on the side of his car. And the inside is
Mary Payne.
What?
I have both of those things in my car.
What happened to your hubcap?
I don't know. I hit a lot of curbs, and at some point I lost it.
And you just didn't go back to look for it?
I just lost it. I didn't know I lost it.
All right. Well, the inside of the car is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
disgusting. They're going through stuff and they're cleaning it out. And she goes, so she's looking like in the console where there's a bunch of papers. She goes, what about all this stuff? And he goes, leave that, And she goes, is any of the stuff diversion paperwork? Which I'm sure the producers told her to ask because
Yeah.
she thinks he's taking care of it. She doesn't think there's a question to ask. And she says, if any of your diversion stuff. And he goes, yeah, here's something I've been meaning to tell you. And I'm going to have to tell your dad too. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get diversion. Yeah, I didn't get my paperwork filed in time. And yeah, after the wedding, I'm going to have to go to court and just see if I'm going to get like probation or jail time or whatever. And she's like, what? And he goes, yeah, I just didn't want to tell you. Yeah, sorry about that. And she goes, why didn't you tell me before? And he goes, because then you might not come. And
He just says it. What every guy on 90 Day Fiance who's keeping a secret. And girl.
she's like, my dad is going to be mad at you. And he goes, well, this will be a test to see if you love me enough to stick by my fight and fight it through. And he goes, well, I just was worried if I told you before you wouldn't come. And she's just like, she says to the producer, she goes, I have to process this. Like, I'm very upset. I cannot believe that he's done this, And if he goes to jail, I just got here and then he's going to be leaving me and I got to be stuck with alien dad and Tim who sleeps in a toddler bed.
Oh,
Yay.
that's horrible.
It's horrible. Now we're going to move on to Manuel and Ashley.
Oh no, please do we have to?
Yeah, we have to.
So, she's going dress shopping and I have to find my notes, but I remember that's how it starts. So she's going dress shopping, which is disappointing because I don't think they should get married. And Ashley says to her mom, "Are you excited for the wedding?" And the mom goes, I'm happy for you."
What did you think
And
about the dress though when she put
she
it on?
she first says what her vibe is. She's like, the vibe I'm going for with my dress is mermaid, glistening, coming out of the water, crystals, luxury, crossed with princess, goddess, mermaid. Okay, that's
The dress gave none of that.
okay. None, 0%. She walks out. There's some lace. And she looks beautiful, but she may have overhyped it with the long descriptor that she gave.
Mermaid dress is a specific kind of wedding dress
It's
that
true.
looks like the mermaid. So it didn't have that.
No, that's first of all.
Second of all, it's so ill-fitting on the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't shiny, like
It wasn't
slithery,
glistening.
like
No
it was
glistening.
no glistening. Like you would think it would have that like wet, like you're thinking like white patent leather look or something.
Yeah, or
No.
like Kim Kardashian when she had that wet look at
Yes.
you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
She is there's no princess. I'm not really getting princess,
Mm-mm.
or goddess. Again, she looks beautiful.
Yeah, the dress once they were gonna like alter it at the top and stuff, it was gonna look great. But the
Yeah,
best part was the crystal crown for sure.
right. So the sister, procures this crown made out of quartz crystal, which is an amplifying crystal. And I
Mm,
thought, girl, your emotions are amplified enough. I I don't
agree.
think that's the issue here.
Agree.
You are at a 12 all the time. And it is like 2 rows of crystals in a halo kind of, and that I was getting mermaid vibes from. It's very much, Ariel and her sisters.
It was gorgeous. It
Yeah,
was gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah, that made up, but it doesn't really go with the dress because
Mm-mm.
there's nothing shiny on the dress.
Sorry, I was taking out my cough drop there. Yeah, I agree. The dress is just a nice, beautiful wedding dress
Yeah, with some lace on it.
with some lace on it and spaghetti strap or whatever. Great. And then, but the crown seems like the dress would have had more of like a hippie flowy vibe for the
Yeah,
crown.
yeah, or at least some crystals or shiny something,
Hmm.
sparkles to
Yeah.
it. I feel like at the wedding, everyone will be talking about the crown and
Right.
not the dress or
Hmm.
not Ashley. And like, that's, I don't know. I watched too much Say Yes to the Dress. I wonder what Randy would say. So Ashley says, I'm really excited. I think Manuel is going to take care of me and love me. And the mom goes, jury's still out. I don't like that he runs away when he doesn't get his way.
It's a problem.
And Ashley says, he doesn't know anybody here, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And the sister says, we try to make him feel welcome, and he pushes us away. He pushes everyone away. And Ashley's like, yeah, that's his thing. Okay. And Ashley's like, we have so much chemistry. It's like fire. And the mom says, okay, so you have sex, you fight, and then you have sex. Are you going to do that the rest of your life? Is
Mhm.
this gonna happen forever you're gonna do this?
Right.
And mom says, I want to talk to him. And I was so excited. Step in. We need a mama ass whooping.
Yeah.
So Ashley takes him to meet the mom. And then the mom is like, okay, bye, Ashley. We need to talk without you with our phones translating.
Yeah.
And so she says to him, I'm questioning your motives. And I don't like when you run away when you're upset. And he says, when I'm upset, I would just rather not fight and go away and chill by myself. And she says, okay, I understand that. That's your personality, but you have to talk about things.
Yeah.
And he says, we love each other, but sometimes Ashley's attitude is so bad, she can't even stand herself. And the mom, I don't know if she understands what he's saying or if she totally agrees,
Yeah.
because she goes, okay, I get that. My daughter is a handful.
It's just exactly what you said on that first episode. They're so used to it. They're
Yeah.
so used to it.
Yeah. He's like, okay, okay. I mean, they should be like grateful that someone can handle Ashley.
That's right. Yeah.
So mama says, I like him, but I don't know if I trust him. But I
Mhm.
am going to put on a happy face and support this marriage,
Good for her.
but with a close eye the whole time.
So you're a fan of Say Yes to the Dress?
Yeah, I was. I used to watch it all the time.
You know Monty?
Yes. Yeah.
I know Monty. He lives like very close by.
Amazing.
Like if I stood on my roof, I could probably see his house.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he lives right close by, and he has a salon in Old Town called Salon Monty. And yeah, he's lovely. He's very nice. See
I
him at the
love that.
grocery store all the time.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, he would just fly to Atlanta to do that show, but he always lived here.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that
I
weird?
didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Jasmine and Gino. So these two are in marital bliss in Miami. She is so happy because they're going to the beach in her toddler size swimsuit.
I
She's
mean,
I was sending you pictures. I was like, what is happening? Her boobs look so uncomfortably hard.
it's just so shocking compared to her body type because she's lost a lot. I don't want to talk about her body, but like we are going to talk about her body. She's lost so much weight. I don't know how she can, her chest bones, how do they hold up those
I don't
weights?
I don't know. The implants are too big.
The
Too
skin is so tight.
yes.
It looks like one of those True Life on MTV. My mom has gotten too much plastic surgery.
Mhm.
I don't think that was actually what it was called,
No.
but there were
No.
many episodes like that. My parents are embarrassing, and this one lady had these, she was going for the record of the biggest boobs,
Oh, okay, great.
and
What a
it's
record.
always like a very small framed
Yeah.
woman.
Or you don't know, they could be you don't know their frame because once they get these giant boobs put on, you're like, you can't even tell what's happening. You can't even see the rest of the body.
Yeah,
Like,
they do look hard, Jasmine's, and I just don't understand, like, what I just thought, like, when did the natural look go away? I thought we
I
were all
know.
supposed to, like, you could have implants for sure, but I thought you wanted them to look like they were real, like, or do you want people to know looking at them that they are fake?
Well, I think that we saw, maybe it was Sarah and Sean on Love After Lockup, but I've seen many shows where people go in to talk about getting boob jobs, and you can really you could choose that look, like that you want them to be like round and hard looking, like that's the look you want. And then some
Yeah,
people want just you could barely see, you
yeah,
could barely tell.
yeah,
I know people that I've known a long time, and then later told me that they had gotten a boob job like 10 years ago. I was like, what? Like I
yeah,
would never have known.
mhm.
It just makes them feel better, but it looks totally natural, so and
Well,
they're
there's,
not
like,
out there.
teardrop shape that I think
Yes.
looks is supposed to look more natural.
Yeah. That's what, somebody I was listening to a podcast recently, and they were saying what Lisa Hochstein should do to Lenny, Real Housewives of Miami, is get her boobs taken out that he did. Get another boob doctor to fix them. Stick it to the boob god, because
I
that's what he
love
called it. That's what he calls himself. And hers also look like hard as rocks and like round, because she's tiny.
Also,
Yeah.
if anyone is gonna get sick from implants, it's Jasmine. Like, I don't know who gave her these boobs, but
Yeah.
if anybody's gonna have a leak or something,
Yeah.
all the rough sex her and
Oh,
Jasmine are having,
Gino.
she's gonna have that
Oh.
silicone poisoning. Poor thing.
So she says, in Panama, I can go to the supermarket like this. So
What? Did she even what?
I was like, wow, what kind of, all right.
'Cause the ass cheeks are out too. It's not just the top.
Everything's out. So he's putting the lotion on her and he's slapping her butt. He's like, look at that booty. Wow. Okay. You've been a bad girl. And she's like, so, Gino, you're like my ass. He goes, I'm starting to think you made a good investment, Jasmine.
I know Americans are too prude about sex compared to, like, Europeans and Southern, South American countries and
Yeah.
Central America, but there are children at this beach.
So
They
she's
are,
like,
like, doggy style doing it practically.
yeah. And there's a camera crew filming them. So everyone's looking,
Exactly.
So she says, she gets so excited that he's turned on that much. And she just loves that he's so excited about her butt and everything. But she feels bad because he doesn't know that it was Dan who helped her with the surgery. So she tells him that she is dreaming of this beach wedding. Like she would love to get married on a beach like this. And she goes, I got to tell you though, even if we do get married in the worst, grossest state in the world, Michigan, I don't like the idea of your family coming. The first meeting with them was bad and I was stressed and I don't like Dana take you to the strip club and then your brother taking you to a strip club and then your nephew saying I should be grateful because Gino brought me to America. And she's like, I don't want the people. So she says, Dana took you to the strip club. Your brother um, talked about the prenup and your nephew says I should just be grateful just to be here. So I don't want to be around these people. How would I feel having these people who want the prenup at the wedding?
Well, Dana also told Gino to talk to her
I
to,
know.
to
Told her the
that
truth.
tell her the truth, and that wife has been lovely.
Yes, totally.
Also,
So
did we miss last week? She said, "Bye bye, bitch again."
I didn't hear that.
I caught it on the subtitles and on Pillow Talk. They had it. She said, "Bitch again."
That's a good one, Jasmine.
Mhm.
So she says, what will happen if I tell you if your family comes to the wedding, I won't get married?
Oh my
I
god.
I need to know your answer. I need to know what territory I'm stepping into. And he goes, well, I would not like that. And I wish that you would not say something like that. And I would hope that you wouldn't say that.
Uh-uh.
She's just saying, like, what if I said it? Then what would you possibly say? I was like, you didn't say it. So quit. So in the talking head, she says, I'm getting more and more suspicious of what happened at that bachelor party. Well, she's not going to like the tape that they roll when you say that.
Uh-uh.
Gino's on his hands and knees like a dog with a lady riding his back. So he tells her, hey, look, everybody's got their own opinion about things. So you need to give him a chance. And she goes, so what we can do is we agree that we disagree. And he goes, all right. He's over in the water. He is ready to swim to Cuba. He's like, I'm terrified. He was scared. He was scared of this conversation, but she didn't escalate it. She said, we agree to disagree. And he says, okay. And then she says, I will give them one more chance. And if they come to me with the same nasty attitude, I will say they cannot attend.
That's fair.
That's fair. And then she says in her talking head, at some point, I'm going to have to tell them to fuck off and punch them in their face. Wow. All right. Jeez. Let's move on to Nick and Devin and their wedding.
Piggy.
By the way, I think this is the third or fourth episode they've been in, and they're already married.
They're just breezing through this couple.
I wonder if it's just because there's no problems.
I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think I think
The biggest
there's
problem
not a
was her
lot of
what?
conflict.
Yeah, the biggest
The
problem was her wedding
families,
dress.
they're kind of old school 90-day people when we used to have someone to root for,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
families are actually happy. There's no troubling 40-year age difference going on. They're the
Right.
same age,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of drama besides Piggy and fat Americans. So, and it's not like, will they or won't they get married? We're not on wedding day going, I don't know if they're going to go through with it.
Well, he is 7 years older than her.
Okay, that's acceptable.
I mean, yeah, it's acceptable.
She
And
is
he's
too young. You're right. I
yeah,
would think she's too young to get married for sure.
because he's 31 and she's 24. When they met, she was 20.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't love that. I do not love
yeah,
that. Um, so they wake up together because their parents have been letting them sleep together, I guess.
yeah. They're cool.
Yeah.
Everything's cool. Yeah.
And her remade dress that with the top fixed is at the venue and she hasn't seen it yet. So
Hmm.
that's the drama. And they drive to the venue together to meet the wedding planner. It all looks very nice, beautiful. I loved the white flowers on
Me
the
too. The
I thought that
trees
was
that they put in there. Yeah,
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yeah.
And I'm not even a flower person or a wedding person.
I liked the way they had that ceremony set up with those
Yeah,
like they looked like white cherry blossom trees almost.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And Devin is smiling and she seems so happy. And the dad says, I don't think she's stressed about anything. And mom looks at him and goes, you were not at wedding dress shopping. You did not suffer the trauma that we all suffered.
Right. Right.
So they take her to see the dress, and the editing is that she hates it, but actually she loves it and it's beautiful. It's exactly the way she pictured it. And meanwhile, Nick is getting ready with her dad. And I was hoping for her dad to give Nick a secret present that will drive us crazy for years to come.
Yeah.
But I will respect it. But Katie will be on the internet digging and trying to find out what it is.
The answer to Kobe and Emily will never be found. He will not say.
He will not say. And
I
I
even
love that.
drunkenly at that party when I knew he was in his cups tried to get him to tell me, and he won't. He said, if it's a secret tradition, then it's a secret. So I couldn't tell you because it's a secret."
I love that. I
She
think
says
that's,
people approach them all the time, and like after 1 minute of talking, go, "Okay, you can tell me. What
yeah.
did he give you?" Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
I would love to have a secret that no one in the world knows, and also I think it's very sweet that they have something that's just them, and
yeah.
that
It's
he
cute.
takes it seriously.
Yeah, he took it seriously.
Yeah. So, it drove Katie crazy, though. She cannot have anyone know a secret that she doesn't know.
Oh,
So, Nick is wearing a traditional Korean outfit, and he looks very handsome, and Nick says to the dad, "You know, when we were doing the rehearsal yesterday and you were walking Devin down the aisle, I almost started crying. It tickled my heart." And the
mm,
dad says, "I'm really glad to hear that. Now I believe you love her." Like, thank God Nick said something.
it's
It's like,
really sweet. Tickled
now
my
I
heart. Yeah.
now I believe that. I'm glad to hear that you cried. That makes me really believe that you love her. And they hug and he says, "Originally I thought there was something wrong with the boy. He called my daughter Piggy, but now I like him." I thought that was sweet. And
Uh,
so they she's getting ready and her flowers are beautiful. She's carrying like pink kind of wildflowers that
Yeah,
look really
yeah,
nice.
the whole aesthetic was great, and I loved
Right.
how so what it is that she didn't like about the first dress was the bodice part was gold, and she just wanted everything to be white.
Yeah.
So that's all they changed on it, it
Yeah,
seems.
and
Yeah,
I thought she looked gorgeous. That's a
yeah.
stunning piggy right there. I thought
Oh god.
her hair looks gorgeous, her dress looks gorgeous. I would wear the whole thing. If it
Did
wasn't cultural appropriation to wear that dress, I would wear it.
did you see the post that said his last name is Ham?
No.
So now she's Piggy Hoofman Ham?
Oh my god, horrible.
I don't know if that's true that that's his last name, but that's what somebody wrote. It said his last
Oh
name
my
is
god.
Ham. Yeah.
I hope that he'll stop saying it and the internet will
Yeah.
forget about it and they will just move on with their lives.
Me too.
'Cause
Me
she's
too.
beautiful and it's sad. So, she walks down the aisle, Nick is grinning, and then he starts crying, and it almost looks like he's sad, but then I think that's just how he cries.
He was just fighting it back, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so his face is all scrunched up. And the officiant gives a little thing about how different cultures and love is a universal language and all of that. It's very nice. And, he pronounces them married, and Nick pulls her in for a huge kiss and then dips her and, like, is grabbing her, and she kinda goes limp like a rag doll, and they're just joking around. It was very cute, and everyone in the wherever is
Yeah.
cheering for them,
Yeah.
except the parents are just smiling, like, tamely sitting down. I think that's just their personality. They're just a little more subdued, but
Yeah.
everyone else seemed like cheering, like they're at a football game. It was very cute.
Yeah.
And then they are dancing down that aisle, and Nick is, like, doing this dance with his hands. He's almost like fist bumping, and you see this old man behind him following them out, and
Yeah.
he is doing the dance with the fist bumping. He's trying to. I was like, don't hurt yourself. Just don't
I
break
thought
a
that
hip.
was the dad doing that. No?
No, I
It
don't
was
think so.
okay, that's funny.
I'll have to go back and look. So then they walk out and there's a helicopter. The parents, first of all, how did the helicopter get there without everyone hearing the helicopter? It was a
Ah,
surprise. The
uh-huh.
parents have surprised them with a sunset helicopter ride to the venue where the reception is. And everyone is waving them off except that one lady with the mouth issues.
Oh gosh.
And she is, like, grimacing and still, I think, holding on to the fact that he said, "We're all fat Americans," which is
Yeah.
fine.
See, I thought the reception was at the same place, and I thought that they would just leave and do the tour and then land back in the same place and
That
come
might
back.
be. You might
Yeah.
be right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was kinda scared of the helicopter ride, which I would be terrified
Me
too.
too. I would be scared too. But I was like,
Um
what are we looking at? Are we just looking at the sunset over Cersei? Is that what
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
is that what's happening? Okay.
So, but it was a nice surprise, very thoughtful and
Yeah,
unique,
fun.
I thought. So, the parents are very excited about the wedding, and they say, "This was beautiful, and over these 90 days, we've really gotten to know Nick, and we are really excited."
I mean, we
So,
flew through their 90 days.
it's
Flew.
how many episodes is that, like 4?
I mean,
Serious?
yeah, we're on episode 11 and they didn't come in
Till much later.
much later. Yeah.
And so I'm rooting for them. I think they are actually really in love and
Yeah.
a cute couple. I pray that they don't, I pray certain things for their life path that I
Okay.
probably shouldn't say because 'cause it'll sound very judgy.
You want them to move to a bigger city where he's got more of a community?
Well, I would love that. That is not what I was gonna say, but yeah, I think that I hope he finds some Korean, um, community.
Yeah.
But I just hope they don't, have kids really young,
Yeah.
and I hope they achieve some of their goals and dreams first,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
and maybe travel around the States at least,
Yeah, let him see something. Yeah.
yeah, and maybe get established, get their own place,
I think they're both pretty adventurous people. I mean, they met in Australia,
yeah, exactly.
so they
Yeah,
both are they love to travel and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think probably they will. Just guessing. No idea. I don't know these people.
I'm rooting for them.
I'm rooting for them too. Um, so now we go to Sophie and Robert. So 51 days to wed. So the
51.
next is the morning, and she's walking around. She's like, you know what we need in here? We need a duvet. And he's in a bad mood. And she's like, he doesn't want to change anything at all about the way he lives. And all I'm asking for is a duvet. Oh, I just don't understand why it's such a big deal. Could we just get a duvet? And he goes, fine, we can get a fucking duvet. I don't care. They say the word duvet 100 times.
Like, if you were doing a drinking game, you would die.
You would die. They said it so
Like, no
many
joke,
times.
maybe 37 times.
It was so many times. And he goes,
Also, I thought you were gonna give her everything she wants and beg her to stay with you and
and
treat
now
her
you're
like a
just
princess,
back to being a dick.
and now you're back to being a dick.
So he goes, listen, you're asking for more than a new duvet. You want a whole new fucking house. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to go outside. So he says, the reason the duvet bothers me so much is because I first woke up in the morning and she's talking about a duvet. And I didn't even know what the fuck a duvet was. So that was the first thing that bothered me. And apparently neither does she because I have 3 duvets. And he says the first thing he hears when he wakes me up, the first thing he hears when she wakes me up is buy me something. So
Um, she's not asking for much. She wants a fucking blanket. That place is not insulated.
no, she's freezing while
There
she
is no
sleeps.
insulation in that little shitty room that they are in.
Yeah, you're right. So she's telling him 2 people and a pit bull should not live in a studio with no kitchen and no other proper rooms or bathroom or anything. And he goes, oh, really? Well, when's the last time you contributed? She was like, I'm not, I don't have any money. He goes, yeah, you hella bougie for somebody who ain't got shit.
That was a good line.
That's a pretty good line because he's like,
Also, it's
what
not
do you,
bougie to want an indoor toilet.
it's not. You're right. So she sits outside. She's texting with her mom and he walks out and he goes, the reality is you just started asking for stuff first thing in the morning and I need like an hour just to wake up. She goes, okay, then I won't talk to you in the morning. So she texts her mom, Rob is annoying. And then they say the word duvet 20 more times.
Yeah. Also, she says, "You could just go to work." And I was like, "Where does he work?"
That's what I said. She says, go to work. And I was like, what's his job?
We've never heard about it. I thought he was some sort of influencer.
Right. So in the talking head, he goes, the bickering does get tiring, and I wonder if it will ever end. And as a man, I think of husbands who just don't talk to let their wife just be right all the time, and I wonder if that'll be me.
I get that. That was the
Yeah.
realest thing he's ever said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know a lot of couples like that, and I don't like it when the
You're right.
woman
I
is
agree.
constantly emasculating the man in public in front of people,
Yeah.
and he just gets shut down.
Yeah.
I get that.
I get it too. I get it if he's like, this is how it's always going to be. Like, I'm not going to be able
But
to finish a sentence.
also give her a blanket. She just wants to not be freezing cold.
She didn't understand what duvet meant, like the cover that goes over a comforter.
Yeah.
She meant a blanket.
Yeah.
So just like she might say jumper, but she means sweater. Okay.
Yeah.
So they go out on a date to a brewery. So that's a funny word. They were having a fun time trying to say it's a brewery. It's a brewery. Brewery. Duvet. So she says that ever since she told him she was bi, he's been acting different. And she does know that all the good times that they've had does make her still want to marry him. But they just need to find a way to get back to these good times. And he
I'm
said,
sorry. I just
yeah,
got to go back, Sophie.
okay, yes.
He has not been acting different. He has been a dick since you landed at LAX and you got stuck in the elevator.
And he blamed you. Yeah.
And he blamed you and made fun of you for being scared and yelled at you for
Yep.
being stuck in an elevator.
Hmm.
So his attitude has been poor the whole time. I don't know
Agree.
what these good old days that you're trying to get back to are.
And I don't know this whole like he's so in love with her thing. How? We haven't seen any.
I think it
It's,
was before when it was all virtual.
yeah.
Because he could go, he didn't have to be nagged. He could go off and do it his own thing and then talk to her for 20 minutes a day.
Yeah. Leave his phone at home because she's tracking you.
Uh-huh.
So talking head, he goes, it's like the fighting. It's probably the pressure of the time restraint is making us fight because, it's a quick turnaround to get married. And it makes it hard to just enjoy each other because like everything is heightened. Like everything is like, do I have to do that for the rest of my life? Is that the rest of my life? So at the table, she goes, let's do more date nights. Okay. When she said, let's do more date nights, he goes, how many? Now,
Oh my
what did you
God.
think she was going to say?
I mean, 1 or 2 a week?
I thought she was going to say once a week.
Like,
And that's kind of average what people generally, if they're trying to like, all
if
right,
you
we
don't
should
have
go.
kids
Yeah, we
and
should.
also neither of you have jobs,
Right.
that's the least that you could do. And they don't have to be expensive dates. You could go bowling. Once you have kids, I think you should shoot for at least once a month.
Yeah. And she goes, um, she goes, well, I don't know, like one every other week, like 2 a month?
Oh my God,
Question
she's asking
mark.
for so little,
So
Sophie.
little. She's asking for so little. And she goes, I just think maybe we're both stressed and we're taking it out on each other. And he says, I just need you to want to have positive energy. Even if you think I said something you don't agree with, like roll with it. Roll with so if he says something she doesn't agree with, she's supposed to just roll with positive energy and not address it. That's what he wants.
What about him? He has the most negative energy of anyone on the show right
You're
now.
right. He totally does. And she goes, I think sometimes you can come off insensitive. And I try not to, I can try to not take things as personally, but we both need to try to listen to each other more. I need you to try to listen to me and I'll try to listen to you.
Basically, you both need to change your entire personalities for this relationship to work.
Yes.
Good job.
And the talking head, she goes, before we really never argued, but the pressure of this 90 days and real life has made it
Uh-huh.
hard. It's the real life part that's making
It's
it
being in
hard.
person 24 hours a day.
Yeah. And you're not going home in a week. Like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're
now
not on vacation, like a
it's
lot of
not,
these couples say. This
not a
is
bank
real,
vacation.
not a paying vacation.
So now they decide what might be good for their relationship is to go to a sex shop. Okay. So in the talking head, they say their sex life has been affected by the stress and her coming out as bi. So they're looking at these sex toys and they're asking like, are there any male ones or whatever? And he says, our sex life has never been basic. So like, I'm looking around, looking at this other stuff. Like maybe she shouldn't have brought me here. Like I'm finding out all sorts of things I want to do. So the two salespeople are talking to them about what all they have. And the sales lady says, yeah, you guys are both really hot. like, if you're into it, like, the three of us,
I
right?
was shocked. First of all, I did not think that woman worked there until I saw that her shirt. I was like, "This is completely inappropriate. Is this?" But then I saw her shirt that she does work for that store.
Yeah.
So, like,
Also inappropriate.
if the other coworkers are watching
Yeah.
this happen, this is still a business. I understand it's a sex shop, but, like, it
Yeah.
is still a business.
It would not be acceptable, I don't think.
That's what I wanna know from if there's any of your listeners that work in that industry, would the boss be okay with her propositioning customers
Right.
while they are in the store?
Yeah. Seems pretty inappropriate. So Sophie first kind of laughs, like, oh my gosh. And then she's like, okay. And then he laughs and goes, I don't know, man. It's her decision. Like joking.
Joking.
And she goes, but you didn't answer the question. You didn't
Oh my
answer.
god. She really did took
She
the
really went
bomb.
off on the wrong
Yeah.
beat here.
Yeah.
And she goes, we're not even married and you're already thinking of fucking other people. I have trust issues and you're disrespecting me. And he was like,
She said, "You are hot too," to the sales lady.
oh,
Was
really?
that when the sales lady goes, "You're both really hot," Sophie smiles and is like, "You are too."
Oh, I
Is
didn't hear.
that okay? Was that like, could he yell at her for that?
Well, then the woman saw that as an opening,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So in his talking head, he goes, she created this drama. You know, she got mad at me because I
Yeah.
stepped away from the question, which I thought was the respectful thing to do, was to step away. I didn't answer. I
No,
just
she
laughed
didn't
and
go,
stepped
"Yeah,
away.
absolutely. But can we do it without my girlfriend?" Like,
Yeah,
I mean, no, normally I'm not on his side ever.
it was wild because she just got all mad and he was like, she asked it. I said, it's up to her. Ha ha, joke. She's like, that means you would do it. That means you would do it. And we're not even, and she's like, no, I stepped away from the question and you're mad at me. What should I have said? Like, how dare you don't look at us both in the eye? Like,
We are married.
she wanted him to be like, nah, this is my girl. Like, like
I
that's what
only
he,
have eyes for her,
yeah,
even though she just told me that in the future she may want to explore being with the woman.
yeah, all right. Oh my God. So, he says correctly, she's created this drama. She got mad at me for
But can
walking away from the question.
I think someone's gonna yell at us, and so we have to do the caveat. The reason she's acting so crazy is because he and other men made her this way by cheating on her repeatedly.
Yes. Okay. Yes, that's true. That's true. And so he goes, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for sounding like I was open, like I'm not open. I'm sorry I sounded that way. And she goes, you're not hearing my side. You're not hearing my side. Your side is fucking trash. And
In the
he's,
store. They're still in the store with all
yeah.
the employees watching.
And that one lady's like, wow. So they're fighting over who doesn't have to fuck me? Like, wow.
Also,
Wow.
I just cost this shop a sale because they were
Yeah.
probably gonna buy something, and
Yeah.
now they are screaming instead.
Yeah. It was crazy. And my final note on these two is this seems ridiculous. And I don't think he did anything wrong.
I actually don't think he did
And
anything
I'm
wrong.
never on his side because he's horrible.
Never. Also, my final thought is, am I too old to pull off those pigtail bun things?
Okay, that is so funny you said that because I just talked about it maybe with Keisha. I can't remember who I talked to about the bun buns.
I love the bun buns,
They're
and
so cute, but I'm way too old for it. But then I
I
had a
think I'm too
listener
old for
send
it.
me a picture of herself with two listeners sent me pictures on Facebook of their bun buns, and they were so cute.
I had a dream last night that I got carded, and they were shocked by my age because they thought
Mm.
I looked so young. It was a great dream, and maybe that was me saying, "You could try and pull it off."
Yeah, you could because you've got a lot of hair, so your bun buns would be like really big and thick. They'd be cute.
But again, very old.
Yeah, but the listeners that sent them to me were like my age ish.
And it looked
They
cute.
look so cute.
Did their children make fun of them? Did
I don't know the
teenagers on the
answer.
street point and laugh at them?
That I don't know the answer to,
Okay,
but
that's
I
what we
think
need to
I
know.
think you should try it. So, still to come on this season of 90 Day Fiance. Like I told you guys, there won't be another episode until what did I say, the 7th, and then our recap will come out on the 9th. But
So
we're
this
just
is
gonna,
like a mid-season trailer.
yeah,
It
this
has
is
a
a
lot of
mid-season
stuff in
trailer.
it.
So guess what? Normally I don't write it all down, but because I'm doing it for the people this week, I will.
Good for you.
Jasmine and Gino go dancing, and then later we see him propose again, and then she tells him how Dan helped pay for the surgery.
Oh boy.
They're all still in Miami, by the way.
if
'Cause
he
she has
asked her
refused to
to
leave.
cut out 20% of those butt implants, how much did he pay for? $2,000, cutting out 20%.
Manuel and Ashley look like they're at Niagara Falls. Um, Later we see it's raining on the wedding day, and she's like, "Of course there'd be a fucking hurricane on my wedding day." Then we see her crying and freaking out in the car, and everyone in the car is flat out laughing at her. She's in that crowd going, ugly cry,
Which is exactly what she said last time when she was having her fake panic attack. She goes,
uh-huh.
"I'm ugly crying right now."
Everybody in the car is literally laughing.
Laughing at her. Again, they're on like the freeway, but she's not driving, thank God. This is
Thank
the
God.
first time she's not driving and having a panic attack.
Hopped up on coffee, freaking the fuck out. So
She needs to stop the caffeine. As someone who has panic attacks, like
yeah.
caffeine's so bad. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Now we see Clayton jump on the bed with his britches pulled up into his butt, and he's making noise going,
Oh God.
squeak, 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 squeak. But he's like jumping on the bed, sticking his butt out, and giving himself a butt wedgie and jumping on the bed. And she just laughs and walks out of the room and goes, "I don't know you."
I think he's trying to do like an animal mating dance because he is trying to get her to have sex with him. And
I
he's like,
know.
this is how guinea pigs are amorous and they
Yeah.
show their butts to each other. This is
Yeah.
how the red-butted baboon of Indonesia wags its butt at each other.
Oh my God. So then we see her with some strippers. And Clayton says, "I had a rule about no strippers and never, ever again will this happen." And she walks off and says, "Continue with your life." And she says, "He will always act like this and not change." And then he's on the phone. He goes, I'm planning a wedding tomorrow, and she's packing a suitcase."
Wow. Also,
Yeah.
that stripper was doing a lot. I saw way too much.
I didn't even understand what was going on there.
It
So
was pretty,
it was a lot.
it was a lot.
Not as bad as the Chance from Love After Lockup video that's currently on the interwebs, just right there on Instagram, just a full porn.
What?
Yes, Chance of Love After Lockup has a new girlfriend, and
Wait, what?
they posted this video of them
They
like
broke up?
fully doing it, like you
Wait,
can
go
see
back.
penis
They
and
broke
everything.
up?
Yes, apparently so, because he's banging this new girl on Instagram, like you could see penis. They're doing it.
But he and
It's close up.
those kids, he was the new dad to those kids.
Yeah, well, they're better
I
off
know you
without him.
always got very bad vibes from him,
Very bad
and
vibe.
I always thought he was kinda hot.
Well, he is a little hot. You could be a little hot and still get the bad vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you want to look that up, guys, it's Alyssa, ALYSSA_chance77 on Instagram. If you'd like to see some porn for free.
Oh, no.
Um, every time we talk, we're like, it's still up. I can't believe it. I haven't taken down. And then they have a little sticker on the side that says support small business.
Giving Tuesday, Small Business Saturday. Also, during a porn, you don't want the word small business in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a bathtub scene, if you will. So,
Wow.
all right.
Wow. Oh, I feel so badly for her.
She's got to be living her best life without that dude. Come on now.
I hope so. With all those children.
Well, fine. So Rob does a cheers to Sophie and says, "There's no turning back now." So apparently they get over the sex shop fight. And then Rob shows Sophie's mother their room/apartment/hovel with no bathroom. And she's like, "I can't believe what I just witnessed. They shouldn't be living here right now. Why haven't you sorted out a different place, Rob?"
Correct.
And then Rob says to Sophie and her mother, "Neither of you could tell me what I should have done. Neither of you have ever been at the bottom."
Again, this defensive behavior.
Right.
When all he has to do is acknowledge, I'm
this
struggling
is,
financially. I wish I could give her more. We are working towards it.
yeah, we have goals. But this is where we are right now. I know it's not great, but we're doing our best.
One day we're going to be in a normal size house with an indoor toilet and we're going to laugh about this.
Yeah.
But instead he makes people seem like they are being high maintenance.
Yeah, that's right.
By asking for that. It's again that that game, the matching game with the ads on the phone where the woman like finds a baby out in the freezing cold and her feet are bleeding, and it's like you got to match some tiles to get her in
Yeah.
a house with a window that's not broken,
Yeah.
and like that's the place they're living in.
Yes. It is awful. It is awful.
Like, I don't know how it's properly zoned.
It's
Again,
not.
it's
It's
definitely not.
not. He's
So
literally living like some dude owns a garage, like a, a fix-it garage,
and I
and
was
this is
kicked
the
out
back
of one.
room.
Katie and I were kicked out of one of those apartments because it wasn't properly zoned, and the
Yeah.
city found out, and Katie was living in the garage, and but it had an indoor bathroom,
Thank
and
you.
we were
That's good.
kicked out. We had 30 days, and he's putting this on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's
But
gonna find out and kick them out.
I want you to drive over there and figure out where it is.
Okay.
Okay.
And I will report it to the city because I don't want Sophie to live there.
'Cause I want Sophie to get out of there. So, Sam says he knows they're having to wait till marriage, but he does have blue balls. We get it, Sam. We get it.
Can he and Clayton start a little club?
The blue ball
The
committee.
Blue Balls Bros.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Sam tells Citra's dad that a few months ago he was caught with drugs,
Yeah.
and the dad just says, "Does he have to serve jail time?" Okay. Just Igor, which is what you named him that I'm stealing. Just Igor says his heart is in love with the Nikki, but his body does not feel the same. Okay,
So sad, and at
he
least he's finally admitting it.
he's admitting it now. Okay,
But he's
we,
been stringing her along for how long?
a year. So we see them holding hands, riding horses, and she says she wonders if there's somebody else that he's having sex with. And in the car, he says, "In our relationship, you do nothing. You don't even cook or clean." And she cries and says, "He's hard to please." And I think I rewound it twice. I think he says, "Learn,"
Yeah, he does. He says
like
that.
learn to cook or clean,
Yeah.
learn. And then
Was
we
that
see,
their arrangement? Isn't she just there visiting? She's supposed to cook and clean for him?
I mean, it's just
Why
like,
she's paying for everything. Why is
but
she also supposed to cook and clean?
he said a Moldovan woman will cook and clean, and that makes it when you come home, you want to have sex with that woman because they've cooked and cleaned for you. Is he Ethan Plath? Like, what's happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So then we see Nikki bawling, looking at her phone on camera, and says, "He just broke up with me on text."
Wow.
So
And I
RIP.
couldn't tell where she was then. I'm assuming she's back in the States.
It looked like she's back in the States to me, just doing like her talking head with production, and she gets a text like he's breaking up
Uh-huh.
while she's recording this.
Yes, and it looks like then she storms out of the studio.
Yeah. Well, so for these couples, Justin and Nikki are breaking up. Sam, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he's going to jail. Rob and Sophie look like they are going to get married, but who knows? Clayton and Anali, I don't know what's going to happen there. She doesn't like him. Manuel and Ashley, I believe, do get married. Jasmine and Gino, we know, got married. And who else do we have here? Oh, and Nick and Devin, we know, got married,
Why
right?
will Annalie she had sex with him before, right? So what's
Yeah.
going on?
I don't know. I don't know if when she got there, she was like, "This is not my American dream."
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so turned off. Yeah.
And I think maybe she feels like he didn't tell her the truth. I don't know because he doesn't ask her feelings.
Right.
He's just showing her his ass and making guinea pig noises at her,
Yeah.
and telling the waiter that he's a virgin.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he said, "I don't drink alcohol." I wonder if that
Yeah.
has a lot to do with his mother and also has a lot to do with him making that comment to his sister that time. Did you
Yep.
get enough to drink?
Uh-huh.
There's some dark shit going on in that family.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's it. And like I said, for this week, you will get the Olivia Plath episode on Thursday, and then Pink Shade Prime, there will be the 90 Day Tell All Part 3. I've already told you all that, been over everything. If you want to hear it again, just go back to the beginning. And is Date with Dateline taking a holiday break, or
Yes. I'm
you are?
so excited. Yes,
You
we
are.
just recorded our final episode for the
Okay.
year.
And what date will your final episode for the year come out?
Wednesday.
December 20th?
Yes, exactly.
And then no, you don't have an episode on the 27th.
Exactly. And we are also hoping to take the 3rd off as well.
Okay. Well,
I
listen.
know. Very luxurious.
So at least you didn't have to do 13 episodes in 1 week like I
No, I
just
did
did.
not. Nope.
I've told my family from here for two, don't speak to me.
Exactly. You need to be on vocal rest, I
I'm on
think.
vocal rest until we go on our trip. I don't want anybody to
Like
talk to
Britney
me.
Spears or Madonna.
And I'm reconsidering my no drinking on a plane rule. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you deserve it.
When they come in, they bring you that welcome glass of champagne. I'll be like, I don't even like champagne, but I'll take it.
Take it.
Oh my gosh, everybody. Thank you very much and have a wonderful holiday season. And remember, in these holiday seasons, you don't have to be alone. There's lots of Facebook groups and people out there for you. So
Yes,
if you
absolutely.
if you feel like it's a lonely time, the bunkies are here for you.
Absolutely. Oh, we're going to be doing our Patreon live stream at some point. I think on the 29th on a
Oh,
Friday.
okay, cool.
So
Good.
if you're sick of your family, you don't want to be alone, come hang out with us on
Join
Patreon.
your pals and talk
Yeah,
about Dateline or dumb TV shows or whatever.
exactly.
All right. I'll talk to you in the new year, Kimberly.
Bonjour, Mary Payne.
Oh, bonsoir. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.